Lamontre Randall coming in here today, y'all. Come on.
Sweet tea is a honey, cool is a buddy, buddy, baby is a buddy, buddy. You are my buddy,
I got my go-go part in the house. Dance part in the studio. That's right, she turned out last time. Last time, get out of here. What's up, right? Oh yeah.
Hold it down, bring it down.
What's up with that Def Jam special? Anybody see that Def Jam special? The 25th anniversary joint. Yes, indeed. Martin Lawrence got his prop. Dave Chappelle. Steve Harvey. Oh man, they cranked that joint.
Going out to my dogs, so thank God.
Come on, tell me what you do. Say peace in the morning, say peace in the morning, say peace.
Been waiting on you, 10th Street. Good to see you.
Oh yeah.
10th Street.
Come on.
So unique.
I said, oh
10th
yeah.
Street, they got a hell of a beat. Oh man.
Peace in the morning, say peace in the morning,
I said 10th Street, they got a hell of a beat. 10th Street, they so unique. Oh man. I said, oh man. Mr. X one time.
yeah, we cranking this morning.
What I say?
Break it down. Yes, sir. All right. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show. This is Darius Stanton live right here at www.elifemedia.net. Thank you so much for joining us. You know we all pumped up and ready to go. Win. Come on now, hashtag win this morning. We got to be winners, y'all. Come on, we're going to talk to some winners this morning. Today is Thursday, and on Thursdays, in case you don't know, this is an asset-based communications program. We focus on promoting positive images, positive people, and positive content. All the other stuff is out the window. So we want to make sure that we bring you folks who are pushing it and pushing peace and love in our community. Today, you will talk to a young brother, a dynamic young brother that I've had the pleasure of knowing for a number of years, Mr. Lamontre Randall. That's right, Be More, the president and founder of Be More, the founder of Cool. Come on, cool, not cool children, because wasn't cool kids. The brother's just cool off the top, you know what I'm saying? So you'll get a chance to hear from our good brother, Lamontre Randall. He'll be calling in shortly for the Peace in the Morning Show. Before we do that, though, as always, it's so much going on in the world right now. We definitely want to take a moment and just give thanks and praises for those who are with us, those who love us, those who have prayed for us, those who have put us in a position to be successful, and those who are in the midst of struggle right now. Those who are in the midst of challenge, those who are in the midst of disaster because they don't know where their next meal is coming from. They don't know where they're going to lay their heads. We want to just, reach out to them and wrap our arms around them. Thank them for their struggle, their confidence in you, and so many people right now, between the islands in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and other islands that are not connected to the United States that were devastated by the most recent hurricanes, the folks in Houston who still are living underwater. Puerto Rico doesn't have electricity, and they may not have it for another 30, 45 days. There's a storm afoot here in the United States, and so we need to be prepared for that. So there's so many things that are going on, and we want to make sure that we are prepared, that we are focusing on getting what we need to get together in place. And so we definitely want to just thank God for his goodness and his mercy and all the things that we think are problems or challenges or sacrifices when you're living in water, when you don't have electricity, when you're looking for food to eat. Think about what you're complaining about, and you might want to remove the word complain out of your dictionary because we really don't have time to complain because God has been so good. Can I get an amen this morning on that That's right. That's right. Right here in the studio. Amen. 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 And also, there's the NFL. It's taken a real interesting turn. I remember when the season began, people said that the NFL would not budge, they would not move, the boycott would not do anything. The USA Today talked about it not having any impact on what's going on, but it's having an impact. The fact that Colin Kaepernick took the stand that he took made so much of a difference. And as a result of that, now you see companies and organizations and, Popovich, the NBA coach, said very interestingly, he's a championship coach, won a number of, it could be, I think he's a dynasty coach now, based on what San Antonio has done in its career as it applies to basketball. He made an interesting statement. He said that what people don't realize, white people, he specifically said, for those who don't know, the coach of San Antonio Spurs happens to be a white male. He said that white men, white people, start at the 50-yard line. African Americans start at the goal line. They have 50-yard advantage just by mere virtue of them being white. And, I really want us to be able to understand the dynamic of color really is something that's created. And the reason why we created the Peace in the Morning show is because we wanted to be able to show you images of people of all colors, all races, that are positive, that are focused on good things, and that energy from positive people, regardless of the color, will propel us. And those who continue to hold us back, whether it's black, white, or any other color, from being able to prosper, to being able to grow. Sometimes people feel powerless, but I just want you to realize what's going on in the world today. The energy itself, the hurricanes, the floods, the mudslides, the earthquakes, the earth will take care of itself. And so I think when we understand that, we will be in a much better position because we have submitted to the will of God. We are submitting to the will of God by being in balance with nature. And so really, really, really excited and thankful and grateful for those people who want to promote peace, who not only want to talk about it, but who do it. As Messiah, my brother Ram Kissoon says, don't show me what love does, show me what love, don't show me what love says, show me what love does, And so we are so grateful for that. There's some wonderful events that are coming up this weekend. The city of Newark, New Jersey is having a peace movement this weekend, much like the ceasefire in Baltimore. Brother Jeremy Newkirk's involved with that. The 100 Black Men here in Prince George's County are having an event tonight, actually. They're going to have an event. Hopefully we can get somebody from the 100 of Prince George's County to give us a call, 240-455-5934, 240-455-5934 if you want to call and address any of these topics that we're going to be addressing. Anybody in Baltimore City that wants to chime in, I'm a Baltimorean myself, lived there about 5 or 6 years as a child. I went to school there, homeschooled there. Love it. I love the genuineness and the realness of Charm City, which is Baltimore's really known for. And today we're going to talk to a good brother, a leader in Baltimore City, a young brother by the name of Lamontre Randall. So you can look forward to talking with Lamontre very shortly. Now, in terms of news, this is not necessarily I guess it's a positive news story because it's taking a stand. We work to promote positive news stories for you versus just what negative, you see and hear in general media. We really work to promote asset-based communications. And in this particular case, there's a gentleman by the name of Joey Odom, who is a U.S. veteran, served in Afghanistan, actually met the owner of the Ravens overseas while he was in Afghanistan, and he asked him. He told him, "Hey, I sing," and he wanted to let him know, since I sing, is it possible that I could come and sing the national anthem? And when he got back to the States, he competed with a few other folks, and sure enough, he was able to be brought in, and he became the national anthem singer, the routine, regular national anthem singer for the Baltimore Ravens. Well, this young man, Joey Odom, has just resigned from the Baltimore Ravens. And the reason why he said he resigned, he thought about it long and hard. He resigned because he felt like after seeing the comments from the fans around the league, but also the Baltimore Ravens fans who were disappointed for folks peacefully protesting. And he said, as a veteran, someone who fought to keep people free and to have freedom of speech in America, to be challenged like it was, and the negative, very viral, divisive things that was said, he could no longer sit in that role. He could no longer be in the role to sing that national anthem for folks that he did not believe had the respect that they should for folks in service, as well as those on the field who were, in effect, sacrificing their lives every day, you know. And so, you know, we really want to give him just the credit for taking a stand, you know, making a decision that was very difficult, because he, you know, was in a position where he, you know, sacrifices someone. I don't know if he's paid for it or not, but the exposure is just phenomenal, you know, and he gave that up. And he gave it up as a vet who believes that, you know, people have the right to protest. And so, you know, we want to make sure that this brother, you know, knows that we love and care and appreciate, you know, his sacrifice. And there's so many others that are making sacrifices as he is. And this brother, you know, definitely did it. So Joey Odom, you know, look out, reach out to him, hashtag his name, Joey Odom, just for the support that he deserves, and give him opportunities. You know, if you have events that are taking place, you know, because he's going to need to now propel us. There are going to be people who are going to, you know, push against him for taking a stand. And so we want to support their brother, Joey Odom, who was the national anthem singer for the Baltimore Ravens, the official singer, has resigned from that role. So, you know, we definitely want to give a shout out to him. Also, we want to just take a moment to shout out and celebrate Def Comedy Jam. I don't know who saw the 25th annual on Netflix this past week, but it was a good show. If you did get a chance to see it, you know, give us a call. You know, we big Martin Lawrence fans here. Martin Lawrence is from right here in Prince George's County, where we broadcast the show. So give us a call, 240-455-5934. They gave a big tribute to Bernie Mac for his, you know, his work and his body of work. They all gave him the, you know, basically the crown. Just a lot of comedians on stage, a lot of good people. Samora was missing. She was honored and acknowledged, but wasn't there live. Would love to have seen her. But if you got a chance to check out the 25th annual Def Jam Comedy, it was awesome, and we love it. So, you know, check it out. I believe we got our good brother on the phone calling in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, is that you, Lamontre?
Yes, it's me, brother. This is me.
My man, Lamontre Randall, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to be with us for the rest of the morning. Lamontre Randall started an organization called Cool Peoples when we met. Young brother in Baltimore City, just graduated recently from the University of Maryland College Park. You went to City College high school?
City forever.
That's right. So any Baltimoreans, any City fans, any City alum, you know, it's a big deal in Baltimore City versus Poly. Am I right, son?
Yes, sir. And it's coming up November.
That's right. So, you know, that's a big deal. City versus Poly is a big deal in Baltimore. But thank you so much, Lamontre, man, first of all, for the work that you're doing in our community, for standing on the front line. If people look at your resume already, as I said, you're a graduate of University of Maryland College Park in criminal justice. Is that correct?
Yep, criminal justice. Even wanted to learn about other cultures, so I minored in Asian American studies.
Right,
well.
That's right, minored in Asian
Went
American
to Japan.
studies. You've been to Japan, okay?
Yep.
Did it made an appearance on the Steve Harvey show?
Yes, sir.
And now you're on the Peace in the Morning show with Darius A. Stanton.
Yep, I love it. I love it. Darius, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for, you know, a lot of people probably don't know. They probably do know. You've been a mentor to a lot of young brothers out here and sisters, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done. You know, even when you mentored and guided me, when I first met you through the Boys and Girls Club, and I had my organization called Cool Peoples and doing work to help feed the homeless, and you was there every step of the way helping promote positivity, you know, within the community. So appreciate you for that.
No doubt, man. Hey, Lamontre, we appreciate you, brother, and the work you've done. Thank God that he put me in a position to be able to help and support. So, Lamontre, you've been also involved. When you were on the Steve Harvey show, you were there right after we got a lot to cover today. You know, we're going to talk about your organization, your new organization, Be More. And,
Be More Group.
You know, we're going to talk about the Be More Group. We're also going to talk about the ceasefire in Baltimore.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about, you know, Baltimore's, and you have a new mayor and the work that she's doing with her violence reduction plan. But in addition to the violence reduction plan, also Baltimore has a lot of real estate, a lot of boarded up homes, a lot of opportunity there for investment. So we're going to talk about real estate and also Be More Financial. And if you have young people, you know, if you know any millennials, you want to have them join this show. So if you watch this on Facebook, share it. You know, matter of fact, Lamontre, drop off when you get a chance off the Facebook and drop back on so we can plug you back in there as well. I want people to see your image and your face. You're not in the studio, but I want people to see who you are because it's important that they understand.
Maybe I could possibly go to this Starbucks right here and try to see if I can get some connection.
It's all good. But listen, while we're doing that, Lamontre, the other thing that Lamontre is going to do is he's going to lay out what he considers a roadmap for success for millennials and how they can have an impact in changing how we lead. Because right now, we are not leading currently. And point blank, you know, we're not leading like we need to be leading. We're still infighting amongst organizations. In the conscious community, you have brothers that are calling each other names on YouTube and battling it out. And this is the conscious community. In the spiritual community, you know, we've got churches and different sects that are not working together. Now, we have a lot of people that are working together, but we need, now more than ever, you know, we need to be able to come together and build, as Brother David Muhammad said, work on building a nation. You know, we play these other games and all this stuff on Facebook and social media, but when it comes time to roll up our sleeves and get out there and work with our young people and work with our sisters and brothers that have been victims of domestic abuse, we always push the hashtag Men for Domestic Peace. We're coming up short, you know, and we need to lead differently from the way that we've been leading. So we're going to crank it up a little bit, give you a little funk, and when we come back, we're going to talk to none other than our good brother, Be More Financial, Be More Healthy, Be More in Baltimore City, our good brother Lamontre Randall, right here on the Peace in the Morning Show. If you got a young person out there, you want to hear what this brother has to say, because he's going to ring your bell. of the Morning Show. Darius K. Stanton, right here at www.elifemedia.net. Hey, thank you so much for joining us on the Peace in the Morning Show. We're reaching out to Larry White Sr. We also have our good brother. This is the Men's Roundtable on Thursday, and we have a powerful brother on the phone, Lamontre Randall. You still with us, brother? Okay, he dropped off. He may be coming back and joining us also. We also invited our good brother Larry White Sr., VIP concierge on October 14th. He's holding an event called Deposit Your Dreams into Success. That is Deposit Your Dreams into Success. And it's going to be October 14th at St. Mark's United Methodist Church. And we're looking forward to working with Larry, having him out there. He's bringing a whole bunch of folks together. Yours truly will be one of the speakers on that day, but we want you to definitely be a part of it. Good morning, peace and love. Who's that on the line?
Hey, this is Lamontre. I'm still trying to join through the video.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. We appreciate you joining, and just hang on the line because we're gonna wrap to you in just a moment. We're looking for Larry White right now. Larry White, I see you out there. Just want to give you a shout out because I know you got an event coming up on the 14th. Working real hard to push dreams. Deposit into your dreams is the theme of this event. Put it on your calendars, please. October 14th. We're sharing it right now via Facebook and all of our social media platforms. But we want to be able to get folks out there in the community coming to this particular event because we've got a lot transpiring. We still have young people with carrying guns. We still have young people who are in a position where they're fearing for their lives, and so they're walking around with armed and loaded guns. Just happened at Annapolis High School. We had it at Broadneck High School earlier in Anne Arundel County. Our young people, if you do the research, the reason why young people are carrying guns is because they're afraid. They're not carrying guns to commit crimes, the vast majority. Yes, that is happening, but the reason why they're carrying guns, don't take my word for it, look it up, do the research. They're looking for protection, and they do not feel safe. And so, we want to be able to create vision, create leaders, maintain partnerships. And what we'll be talking about on that day, 1440 Dorsey Road in Hanover, Maryland, not too far from Maryland Live, for those where that is, in Maryland. We're going to be talking about retooling leadership and how we change how we lead currently. Because we've been leading the same way and we're getting the same results from the election. We're still not coming out to the polls. We're still not voting. We're getting the same results in terms of our health stats. Still have high blood pressure at a very alarming rate, sugar diabetes at a very alarming rate. Suicide is still at a very alarming rate. Homicide is still at a very alarming rate. But I tell you what is changing. People are coming together in and around holding their money and voting with their eyes. So I want to commend all the folks who have taken a stand in this boycott with the NFL, because your work is now, as 3 weeks straight that the NFL ratings have gone down. And there's questions about the reasons for the why, but it has never had this fast of a decrease. That is for certain, within one season and one period of time. So, Lamontre, you're a football fan, is that correct? Seems like we lost him. Lamontre?
No, I'm here. I had
me on mute. Okay. So, Lamontre, you're a football fan, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So, and you definitely, have you been paying attention to what's going on with the NFL?
Yeah, man, yeah. And I know it's kind of funny you saying, am I a football fan? But really, with all this going on, I become more or less, interested in the game after I see how they treated, Colin Kaepernick and how they treating the rest of the black players in the NFL.
No doubt. So, Lamontre, you work with young people. Tell us about, the organizations that you work with in Baltimore City. You started Cool People's. Tell us what Cool People is all about, because I think people need to understand the dynamics The beautiful thing, Cool People should be a national program, brother. We need to get that initiative back up. Right now, I want you to hashtag Cool Peoples, get it hot so people can notice, so they can hear the name and get the buzz. But tell people what Cool Peoples was all about. And you formed that when you were, what, 15, 16 years old?
Yeah, when I was about 15 years old, at high school, one of my family members that got shot and killed due to gang violence. And so I kind of wanted, and this was at the time when Lil Wayne, you know, he's promoting being a blood and all this stuff. You know, and we kind of see the same thing in our music industry still today. But it was no sense of seeing what cool can be. You know, cool can be being a positive role model, going the right path. You know, it was nothing wrong with that, but there was nothing out there that was promoting that.
Right.
So I said, look, I need to do it myself then. I said, cool, everybody see me. When they see me in the hallway, like, yeah, who that? Yeah, that's Lamar Trey, Cool Peoples. And
right.
So it just had that ring. It was like, yeah,
Cool Peoples.
Cool Peoples.
Right.
Yeah, so we started, first it was just me, and then it became a movement. And next thing you know, everybody was like, yeah, can I be part of Cool Peoples, this and that. And we started going out feeding the homeless, talking at family shelters, and really just being that group / movement to help inspire other young people to go the right path.
And Lamontre, when you formed Cool Peoples was about, first of all, it's at the core of what we do and what we believe in, which is asset-based communications. It's asset-based. You didn't focus on the negative and call them fool people or bad people. You called them cool, you know. And so you made cool. The things that you made cool, though, were what? Doing your homework was cool.
Right.
Going to school was cool.
Right. And not so, and you know, we talk a lot about sports, but outside of sports, you know, not just playing sports, but making sure you get good grades while you playing sports was cool, you know. And that was the main thing that we were trying to grill down to people. And the reason why it was so effective is because what we learned is it's different when you getting stuff from your fellow peers. You know, it's different when your parents tell you, hey, this is cool. We hear it all the time. You know, your parents always like, hey, you should go this route. But when another fellow person around your age say the same thing, it kind of clicks to you a little bit more. You know, and that's the main reason why it was so effective.
So, in addition to that, Lamontre, so you were 16 then, you started and founded your own organization. But in addition to that, you started getting attention from the mayor, and you started serving then on the mayor's council, youth council. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So, the more and more I got involved in the community, really the more positive things you put out there, the more positive things that come back to you. And so we was doing a cleanup in the neighborhood, and I guess my name was ringing bells throughout the community, and the mayor heard about it. And so they actually offered me a position to be on the mayor's office, the mayor's youth commission at that time. And I served as the 13th district commissioner. And it was a great experience. It was a great experience just seeing the politics of everything, how everything, gets negotiated. And that was beautiful.
So after that, you went to university. You was a Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. Shout out to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Baltimore and that whole Boys and Girls Club movement. I know we got some folks from Mississippi and Alabama that watch the show from the Boys and Girls Clubs every day. So we thank you for your support out there, Miss CEO, Miss Penny Ainsworth. But, you know, you've been working with the Boys and Girls Clubs. You were the Youth of the Year for that program. You won a scholarship from Taco Bell to go to University of Maryland College Park. Got to College Park, and you started taking leadership there. But then you got involved after you graduated. The whole instance. Go ahead.
Yep. And so what happened was, so kind of like how the climate is now, in College Park we have so many different racial groups, and there was nobody really helping everyone come together. And so that was my role. my role, that's why I chose Asian American Studies. I wanted to learn about different groups. So I made it a pivotal point through it all while on campus to meet with the Hispanic community, meet with, the different groups. And from then on, once I graduated from University of Maryland, I got a call, and it was like, it was from my university. My university called me and said, hey, we want to hire you as a consultant on this project called Be More Than the Story to help bridge the gap between Baltimore high school students and University of Maryland students. It turned out to be one of the best exhibits at Reginald F. Lewis Museum. We won several different awards. We got an award for the city paper saying we was one of the top art exhibits. And this all came, from just people from different universities seeing, seeing the value within me. And so I realized that a lot of organizations need my help. And I had a good skill of bridging the gap between those who are in the suites and those who are in the streets.
I know that's right.
And so we started the Be More Group, and we do just that. We help nonprofits, government agencies, institutions get more involved and inclusive in the community. We have an app and curriculum that was sponsored by Harper Bank, the local bank in Baltimore, where we helping young people across the city. So we partner with Baltimore City Public School System, learn more about financial literacy, and really about debt and how to grow their own business and how to manage their money. So it's been changed a lot of people's lives.
So, Lamontre, let's talk about some issues that are taking place in Baltimore City. Baltimore City at one point in time led the nation 8 out of 16 years as the most violent, teen homicides. It led the nation in teen homicides. So, the ceasefire was a big movement. You were a part of the movement, the ceasefire movement. I know the sister Erica there in Baltimore, but, she said it many times. It's not about her. It's about the entire city. The mayor, Mayor Catherine Pugh came out into the streets and supported that program. But, as a brother living in Baltimore City, working and doing everything you can, how growing up there and being a teenager and now a young adult in Baltimore City, what's the pulse, man, in terms of what's transpiring with the violence in Baltimore City? And what do you see as one of the solutions? I often talk about the fact that Baltimore City has more liquor stores, and I definitely want you to talk about the liquor stores and also the carryouts, because one of your plights has been, and I want people to pay attention to this, one of your plights has also been to addressing those stores that are run by Asians in our community, first to reach out to them and extend an arm, but also have them come from behind that glass, that plexiglass, where they just basically take your money, give you some food or drinks or other things that may not necessarily be good for you and not necessarily contributing to the community. That's been a major, initiative of yours, as well as dealing with the police and serving as the chair of the youth committee.
Chair of the Baltimore City Police Youth Advisory Board as well.
Right. So talk to us about, the vibe on the street and what it's like, being in Baltimore City with that violence and people working to curb that with the ceasefire. Then we'll get into the liquor stores and other causes, and then the piece with the carryouts.
So the vibe of the city right now, believe it or not, people are coming more and more together. And big shout out to all the different grassroots organizations that's just been pushing the togetherness movement. It used to be everybody being on their own little silo. You got East, I got West. Don't cross the boundaries. Now we realize, we all need to come together. This is a whole community problem. And with that being said, I've been seeing it's been unique. I've been seeing gang members unite. Shout out to Orlando and Gary Johnson, who helped during the uprising for gang members to unite. I've also been seeing.
So you've been seeing gang members unite in Baltimore City. We haven't seen that in the news.
Yeah. But I think it's all starting to they all starting to recognize that with unity is power. And a lot of times when you talk to these brothers, a lot of them are lost because they weren't given enough seeds planted.
Right.
See, I look at myself. People call me grassroots, and it's crazy because I love the word grassroots, you know. And the reason why I'm able to be that root was because somebody planted seeds for me, you know. And so I make it a constant effort as a grassroots person to plant the seeds for others.
That's right. Come on.
And with that, once you start to plant seeds, you start to see everything around them start to change. See, at first it just started with, yo, what's up? Hey, how you doing? I had to change the language. It's all about the language. That's how you change people's minds. So I said, hey, what's up, King? Peace, King. How you doing? See, that word peace goes so far.
That's right.
So far in a city where that's always taught to kill. When you throw peace in it, it helps them realize it's a different alternative.
So you stopped saying HELLO altogether, and you just started saying peace, King, peace, Queen.
Yeah, man. I don't even. Yeah.
and so the facial expressions on brothers just totally changed, didn't it?
It totally changed. Like, some people will look at you weird, like, did he just call me the king? I've been out here selling. Like, nah, you are a king. You just ain't realized it just yet.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And once you plant that seed, man, it just grow. It just grow.
So, and then what about when you said peace to the queens? You know, we have a lot of conversations, you know, about queens and treating women, you know, as queens and with respect. And a lot of women don't see themselves in the beautiful light because they were talked to like dogs, called bees, and all kinds of other things outside of their name by their own family members. But what did it mean? You know, how did it impact queens when you started calling them, saying peace, queen? How did that, you know, impact them? What was the response to that?
They love it. Women love it. And it got to a point where I got my young mentees saying peace, queen all the time. And it helps brighten that other person's day. Because a lot of times all they hear is that the H word, the B word. So when you go into different schools and you calling these young girls queens, they start to change their idea and self-image of themselves. You know, like a lot of these girls within our communities, they face problems of low self-esteem, you know? And that's why you see a lot of them, you know, do different things to get attention. You know, wear clothes a certain way to get attention.
Right.
You know, when you start to plant the seed that you are beautiful, no matter what, I'm attracted to your inside and not your outside, you know, perception, persona.
So let's stop right there for a moment. I know we're gonna get to the carryouts and the relationships with the Asians and the whole police piece with Freddie Gray as we come up on the 10 o'clock hour with the Piece of the Morning show. We ask you to hold on with us. We got a very powerful young brother, Lamontre Randall, on the Steve Harvey show. He's visited, started a number of organizations himself. Be More Clean, where he takes young people in the community to help them clean up the community, pay them. Be More Financial, where he's teaching young people to invest, not only young people but his peers in terms of the millennials. Very powerful young brother. Share this if you're watching us on Facebook. If you're looking at us through eLife Media, send elifemedia.net out to folks because you want to hear from this young brother, Lamontre Randall. He is doing it, and he's doing it with asset-based communications. You know, he's pushing peace in our community. So one of the things, Lamontre, you know, as you said, you started calling Sister Queens. You know, what kind of responsibility do you feel that we have? You know, we push the hashtag for domestic peace. What kind of responsibility do we have as men, as young men, to promote positive treatment and behavior towards and communications towards our sisters? How important is that?
Man, it's very much important. What we need, and this is my call, we need more brothers on the ground helping with change. Because what I realize is I can't do it all by myself. And I'm not saying I am, But I'm saying it's power in numbers. It is. It's strong power in numbers. And once I realized, we've been trying to do some work and trying to change. I can't really say the area right now, but we've been working on the ground and disrupting what's happening within these corner liquor stores. And I'll tell you, the brothers on the streets, they recognize it and they respect it. And I will tell you one positive thing that happened is when we went out there in the streets and we showed our presence, the brothers that was going inside the liquor store, corner store, selling this and that and third, they went somewhere else. They disseminated because they respected and they saw real men.
Come on, man.
Who was taking care of their community and wanted to take back control and bring positive influence within their own neighborhood. These brothers know better. We just got to influence them to do better, and we got to bring them resources as well.
So what are some of the the plight of, because we often talk about it, you know, you came down to the Baltimore City Justice Center and worked with us down at BCJJC with them young brothers down there with Brother Carlos Muhammad, Brother Andrew Muhammad, you know, those brothers who are working behind the walls in the juvenile detention facility.
Yeah, shout out to them brothers.
You know, that are doing this every single day. And now the program is going on almost into its 10th year, and the incidents of violence have dropped from like 75 to 15, you know, per month. And so you said something that was very powerful, and we've encouraged it, we've done it, and that's the presence, man. People don't realize the power of the presence, and when you go out there in that street, 10 deep, 20 deep, 25 deep, brothers pay attention. Everybody pays attention. It shuts corners down. They move somewhere else. The whole disrespect, they're not calling, get up out of here, this, that, and the other. They respecting it, especially if you go out there with respect. So tell me, what kind of impact you think the liquor stores, I just gave you the numbers, over 300 liquor stores over the legal limit. What kind of impact are liquor stores having on our communities? And what do you think can be done to move our city leadership to reduce? Now, the former mayor, there were 500 liquor stores in Baltimore City over the legal limit. The former mayor, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, to her credit, peeled those back. But how to about 350, I believe. But there's still 300 liquor licenses over the legal limit, over the limit. What can we be done, and do you think something should be done, or do you think we should just keep on getting tax money and tax dollars off of liquor stores that are truly where the incidents of violence and homicides are taking place the most?
Yeah, so I think it's funny you mention that, because I got buttons that say buy more stocks, less shots. So we've been pushing a movement now for people to buy more stocks, less shots.
Buy more stocks and less shots.
Yep. And brother, if you have a moment, if you can, I was able to do the Facebook Live thing, so I got it on now.
Okay, well, come on in there and see if we can pull you on up, get you on there. I want to bring you into.
All right, but I see a strong correlation between the liquor stores and the problems that we have in our community. Are you able to get it, brother?
Well, I'm looking for you. Keep on rapping to me.
Okay. Yeah, I see a strong correlation between liquor stores and what we see happening on the corners. It's just, how can I say this? I think what needs to happen is we need to recognize the problem, and then we need to stand ground. All men need to stand ground, hit the community, and stand outside these liquor stores and say, hey, you ain't selling to our people no more. And once that happens, then we could start to see change happening within our community.
So what about the policy, though? What about the policy component? You worked with the mayor's office, the former mayor's office. You worked on a number of campaigns. You worked with the chief of police, the police commissioner in Baltimore City. What about the policy? What can be done from that vantage point? What pressure can we apply? Because it's already zoned to reduce the liquor licenses. They just have not enforced it. So, what can be done from that vantage point from a policy perspective to impact that?
So I think, okay. So I think the main thing when you talk about discussing policy and creating some political solutions, one of the things we need to do is come together as a collaborative and draft the policy. And what I would suggest is us all teaming together. We all got different organizations. Us coming together in one big meeting and discussing this problem and saying, hey, we want to see change happen. And once we kind of show them numbers and show the different organizations that's behind it, then from there, you go to your politician and you say, hey, we want this to change, or you're not getting elected.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this just so we can be action based here. Let's start working to pull these organizations together. Let's get 5 millennials organizations that are the primarily millennial age group. Let's get 5 organizations that are religious based. Let's get 5 organizations that are political and civic based, and at least 20 different organizations at the table or individuals to start looking at the current laws and then move into policy and force the hand of the folks. Because what has to happen is you have to force the hand of the politicians that are making the rules and the people on the liquor board to enforce the existing. There's already legislation to reduce it. They just have not enforced it. So it needs to be enforced. So let's work on that together, man. Let's make sure that we bring some action to this so we can bring that number down in terms of the number of liquor stores, because there's a direct correlation between liquor stores and violence and homicides in our communities. Where you have a whole lot of liquor stores, you got a whole lot of violence, a whole lot of killing. In the Pimlico area, Northern Parkway, on the west side where you don't have a lot of liquor stores, you don't have a whole lot of homicides. You don't have a whole lot of violence. So it's a direct correlation between that. So we definitely want to make sure that we address that. So can we work together on that, brother?
I agree. Let's work together.
Done deal.
I already have a few organizations in mind. So let's do it.
Okay, awesome. So look, we're gonna shift real quick. Let's talk about the Asian community and the carryouts. Everybody jumps to the mama sons and the chicken boxes. First and foremost, just in terms of food choice, Baltimore City. When I grew up in Baltimore, we had the fruit man used to come through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Watermelon, pineapple, honeydew melon, cantaloupe. You know what I'm saying? He used to come through the street making a big noise. Watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, strawberries. We got kale. We got spinach. You know what I mean? They used to run through the streets on a regular basis. When I grew up in Baltimore City, you could go get that fresh fruits and vegetables right off the horse, right off the trailer in Baltimore. You remember them days growing up in the city?
Yeah. So, I mean, you talk a lot about these corner stores, and I'll tell you, studying age market studies and being able to be around. So a couple of my friends actually own these corner stores in Baltimore and these carryouts, and it was crazy because I would talk to them, and you talk about knowing what's in your body. When I talk to them, these brothers like, I don't eat that food that's in there, and that shows me just then and there. He didn't tell me why he didn't, but it must be something they doing with this food.
So wait a minute. So you built relationships with some of these corner stores you're talking about. They owned by whom? By Asians?
No, not black people. Asians.
Right. And so then when you talk to them about it, I invited you also on Facebook, so you got a chance to pull yourself in.
Yeah. I don't know why. Can you do it again?
Yeah, I just did it. I just did it again. It's all good. Okay. We can keep it moving. If you can pull it up, that's great. I just want people to see who we are, who you are, and understand the power of this young brother. But so they actually told you, the people who own the corner store, that they don't eat the food that they selling.
They don't eat the food that they selling, man. They don't. And I look back, I can't remember one time, all my times going to them carryouts, man. I can't name any time where I saw another Asian buying within there.
So now, hypothetically, and I'm not encouraging this. I'm not promoting that we do this. But hypothetically, if we decided to start to support businesses in our communities, because how many of these businesses that you're dealing with are contributing to the communities in which they're taking the money from?
I would say I can't really name too many. So I did one thing when I was on the Be More Clean,
Right.
where we was going out. I was paying young people to go out and clean the neighborhoods. And what I would do is I would ask the local business owners, donate $1 here and there. It could be a quarter, a trash bag.
Right.
So a lot of different people gave in that type of way. I went, no lie, I go to different groups, and not one gave $1, a trash bag, or anything. And we was cleaning up their area within the city. It was over there on Bella and Herman area. We was cleaning up their area.
You were cleaning up, so you were cleaning up in front of the carryouts, and you were going to numerous carryouts, and none of the carryouts donated a plastic bag to help you pick up the trash in the communities that they were selling food to.
Yep, and I pointed it out, and I caught a lot of slack from it, because you remember I told you I got different friends, but I'm being honest. Like, you extracting all this money from the community, and it's not wrong for me as a person within the community to ask you to contribute.
So
it's nothing wrong for me.
So here's what I want people to understand. If you watch what transpired with the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night, Jerry Jones was emphatic about people standing for the national anthem, so much so that he kneeled with his team before the national anthem was played. And after the national anthem was played, he stood up. So I would presume, I'm not even going to guess, that's what he did, okay? So he kneeled for the national anthem, before the national anthem in a show of unity. And then he stood up when the team stood up. But he was determined that nobody on his team would kneel. Now, after the ratings dropped 3 straight weeks in a row, the Dallas Cowboys, and people said nobody's going to pay attention to that. That boycott isn't going to make a difference. When they stopped, do you know DirecTV right now is giving people their $280 back? They announced it on television, on the radio. They're giving their $280 back for the NFL ticket for people who want to cancel their subscription.
Whoa.
They're losing money right now. So it's having an impact anytime Jerry Jones got on his knees on international television in front of the world. It doesn't matter whether it was the national anthem or not. He got on his knees as a result of people taking a stand and voting with their pockets. So do you think if we decided we were going to no longer support carryouts that did not contribute to any community organization, any church, any youth group that did not contribute back to those organizations, those entities that we boycotted, do you think people would then stand up? Because you got a whole lot of people still watching football, even though the president and other people are condemning people for standing up or taking a stand just to preserve life. Do you think people would actually boycott those carryouts? And I'm at this point, I'm not saying that we do that, because we don't have, I got your word, but in terms of data and what they contribute, they may be contributing and we don't know. So we're not going to jump here on a Piece of the Morning Show. We work with research and information, and you've definitely done your own research and your homework. So I'm not questioning that, but I'm saying in terms of being able to support it and call for a movement. But do you think how you think people would handle that? And how many people watching us right now on Facebook Live would stop investing and stop buying from that local carryout on the corner if they're not contributing to our communities?
I think the people will be on board. I think the people will be on board, but with them being on board, it has to be some solution behind it. So one of the main things, and I think I'm going to shout out to Wayne, the local grassroots person, Monique Dove. So she goes out. She realized that a lot of the young people weren't getting breakfast in the morning. So she started to, she does her own chef company thing. So she said, hey, look, I'm going to provide the young people, breakfast in the morning. And so I say this to say that, to say this. If we're going to enact something like that, we have to give them another alternative. The reason why they go to these different stores within the community is, number one, it's affordable for them. Number two, it's convenient. It's right there. That's why it's called a convenience store.
Right.
So we have to find some way, some type of strategy, even if it's like, okay, you text this number, you say what you want, and we bring it to you type of thing. It has to be some type of alternative in order to make it long lasting.
So we need to create our own food distribution, our own restaurants, our own carryouts, our own health food, because the other part of it is, like you said, this is very key. Now, this brother Lamontre Randall, if you just joined us here on the Peace in the Morning Show, we're talking with Lamontre Randall, young brother from the Baltimore City. Started an organization called Cool People when he was a teenager. Started another organization called Be More, where he got Be More Clean, young people to go out and clean up in the community. And some of the very carryouts and convenience stores that were owned by Asians that he cleaned up for, he was not able to get any financial support or even supplies to clean up the very corner in front of those stores. But he still went out, still got the young people involved in cleaning up their own communities. But what Lamontre is saying now is, if we decided to stop going to these establishments that do not support our community, what will we backfill them with? What businesses are in place to then feed our, are we going to go back out and then feed them? Because the other part of it is, Lamontre said, he had people who own these establishments, Asian friends of his, that say they don't eat the food that they serve the community. They're not eating the very food that they're serving the people. They're not eating the food that they're serving the people, and they're not giving the people money or any support in the resources to help the community grow. So why are we still eating there? Why are we still giving them our money day after day after day, week after week after week? So I challenge you, if you have a convenience store, if you have a liquor store, if you have a grocery store in your community, if you have a church in your community, somewhere where you are giving your money every week, your family is giving their money every week, and they're not giving back to a community organization, they're not giving back to somebody in the community, a youth organization, a sports team, a leadership, a coaching organization, a church, a mission. If they're not giving back and they can't demonstrate where they're giving back, then you should stop giving them your money. Stop giving them your money if they are not giving back to your community. Stop investing in people who are not investing good things in you. And if they're feeding you food that they're not eating themselves, there's something wrong with that picture, and we need to do something about it and stop allowing the acceptable to be unacceptable. It doesn't matter whether next week we're going to talk about Democrats and Republicans. One of my good friends and I are having a heavy conversation right now about the Trumps and the Clintons and the difference and the similarities in the Republican and the Democratic Party. So stay tuned next week. We're going to have a heavy conversation about that. We're going to have a political roundtable to talk about, where should your loyalty be in the political framework. And the reason why I bring politics up is because all of these businesses have licenses. They have to be licensed. The liquor establishments have to be they have to be approved, and once they're approved, they're in place and can be grandfathered to other places. But if it's already outside of the zoning limit, then you can shut that down. Stop supporting people who do not support you.
Amen.
So Lamontre, I'm on this last note. Tell us about Be More Financial and the opportunity to invest in Baltimore City and what you're doing with young people to help them become investors and promoting investing in. You said buy more stocks, not more shots.
Yep. So yes, I got pins. If anybody follow me on Facebook, I could go and give you one. Just let me know your address. Buy more shots, buy more stocks, less shots. And the reason why we're promoting that, really, we've been trying to promote within our communities for us to Be More Financial. And the reason why we're promoting that, we see that a lot of people we recently saw a study that majority of African Americans don't have more. Matter of fact, this is a majority of Americans. So just imagine African American. Majority of Americans don't have 1,000 in savings. You know, and when you think about that, you like, okay, our people are not being taught different ways to put their money. And I give you a fine example. People talk about being Team iPhone. And I remember looking at the stock price for it. I think it was like 100 something. And people pay $1,000 for the phone. And I'm like, how you Team iPhone, but you have no shares in Apple?
Come on now. The brother said Team iPhone. You're going out and buying $1,000 phones, but have not $1 of stock in Apple.
Yeah, and
you got Team Jordan. You got Team Jordan. People are buying Jordans for $180, the double set for $300, but don't own one piece of Nike stock.
Yep. Not one.
And now let me ask this question. Where have you seen Apple setting up a community technology center in your community? Where have you seen Jordan, Nike, setting up a community foundation of scholarships in your community? I'm not saying that they're not doing it. I'm asking the question. So while we buying our children Nikes and Apple phones, where is the reinvestment in our community where we are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars in one household? People are buying. You got what? It's easy to walk into a household and find 10 Jordans that are at an average of $150. Sure, you got the little off-brand, but they don't even want to wear the low. If they're under $100, they won't even buy them Jordans. Am I right or wrong, Lamontre?
You're right. You're right.
So where's the reinvestment? You got to. I mean, it's just bottom line. Support people that support you.
Yep. But the thing is, so what we've been intentionally doing. So we teamed up with Harvard Bank, the local bank in Baltimore, where we have an app and curriculum that teaches families, and it's fun. It's made in a simple type of way. It teaches families about different financial solutions. So it teaches them about debt, about credit. You go through buying a car, you go through buying a home, you go through paying rent, you go through saving, you go through work and life balance, and all of that. And it's been a beautiful sight to see. We've been teaching this to third graders on how to manage their money, and it's been awesome. It's been beautiful. And also, what we've been doing is I've been intentionally getting people to have with only $5, had them start investing. The thing that we got to do, and I talk about planting the seeds, is letting people know about the different resources out there. There's no reason that if you got $5, and I know homeless people with $5, if you got $5 and you ain't investing, it's different apps out there. So you got the Stash app, where all you need is $5, and you could go and invest in the mutual fund. The difference between a mutual fund and just buying one stock, a mutual fund is different groups of stocks all in one fund. So that $5 that you invested in, it goes into several technology, companies,
right?
Instead of just one company, And then it's the other apps out here, Robinhood, where you could go. So say you wanted to buy Apple. It used to be you had to go to TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Charles Schwab, all them different companies in order to buy stock, and they take a commission off of it. You buying and selling it. It's an app right now called Robinhood. You buy and sell stocks for free.
Robinhood.
So that price, Robinhood, ROBINHOOD.
So
you go and buy and sell for free.
If you can do that investing right there online, a lot of people don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. Give us some of the banks that you're working with, Lamontre, that people can reach out to, and also give us some information on how people can reach you, because young people need you and the brothers you work with, Rashad Stanton, DeJuan Patterson, also part of Be More. Those brothers, they need you all. They need to hear you all speak. I've seen all of you speak. I've invited you all to speak. I thank you for the work that you've done. I want to invite you to come out on October 14th. Larry White is having a host of speakers. Go to our Facebook page. Go to Larry White, VIP Concierge. any of those pages and see the event on October 14th from 10 to 1 p.m. We need to pack the house. We need as many leaders as possible. We'll be organizing on that day to make sure that we are prepared for the emergencies in our communities, but also so we can learn how to invest in communities and organizations that are contributing. And we want to lift up those organizations and those businesses like Shoppers Foods, who is designating and donating money directly to the community, like Safeway, who is directly investing in the communities that they serve, like Harbor Bank, that's investing, like Industrial Bank, that are investing directly into the community. Comcast, another organization that's giving scholarships, that's giving internet for $9.95 a month. So one of our contracts that we work with is the Stanton Group, but they're directly reinvesting into the community from the companies and from the businesses and the residents that are living in these communities. We need to support community organizations and businesses that are supporting our communities. And if they're not, as I said with the NFL, are you going to kick it or are you going to tick it? What you going to do with it?
Yeah.
So how can people reach you?
Even with the NFL, the NFL need to do more within the community.
Well,
you know? If you get in, if your main consumer, I think they did a study and they showed, and if anybody been paying attention to ESPN been getting more and more black commentators. Why they been getting more and more black commentators? Because they realized that a lot of black males, one of their major population that watch the shows is black males.
Right.
So a lot of black males, a lot of them, we have a high unemployment rate. They home and what they watching? ESPN. And with that being said, what I'm saying is these different companies, big organizations, they use our money, and it's time for them to invest back into our people.
That's right.
Period.
So give us a way to contact you, Lamontre. Definitely put it up on our Facebook page, but also give us a way that we can reach out to you and people can get you and have you to come in and speak to their organizations and their groups, both youth and adults.
Okay. So you could reach me via email. You could use my business email, Be More Corporate. So BEMORECORPORATE@gmail.com. You can also reach me through my personal email, Lamontre_Randall@yahoo.com. And if you need some advice on certain issues, certain things, I'm more than willing to give you my business cell, which is 443-497-0894. Once again, 443-497-0894. Thank you, Brother Stanton, for all your good work, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, brother, thank you for sharing this time with you. I know you're very busy up there in Baltimore City and working around the state of Maryland. Look forward to seeing you soon. This has been Lamontre Randall, the founder of Cool Peoples. We need to have you come back and just talk about Cool Peoples in itself so we can start Cool People chapters all around the state, all around the country. We need to promote Cool Peoples. So Brother Jeremy Newkirk, my business partner, one of my business partners is checking it out, watching the show. He's created something called Cover 360. They got an event coming up, the Day Party, Bliss Nightclub. You want to check it out. Cover 360 Day Party with the Wallway Foundation and a whole lot of other folks that are supporting this event. You want to come on out and check out the Day Party, Bliss Nightclub. I believe that date is October 18th. Want you to come out, celebrate, and support, again, asset-based communications. Support people that are supporting you in your community. Larry White's got an event, 100 Black Men. Go to their page, 100 Black Men in Prince George's County is doing an event tonight at the City Club in the District of Columbia. Shout out to the fathers that I'm going to be speaking to tonight up in Baltimore County Head Start. Thank you for having us. Let's give all the Head Start fathers a big round of applause and support all the men who are standing up for domestic peace. We're going to close on a peaceful moment. When we come right back, we're going to funk it up, get a little tune, and then we're going to give you a real brief peaceful moment when we return. Thanks so much, Lamontre. Love you, brother. Keep up the good work on the Peace in the Morning show. We'll be right back. We're going to crank it up, and then we're going to be back to give you that peaceful moment.
Let me show you.
Peace. Shout out to Miss Monique Benz for raising that wonderful son you did, sister. Love you, God bless you. Give your mother my love. Lamonte Randall's mother. What's up, Cecily Randall? Spar Road in the house. Shirley Herndon, peace and love. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show. County Ortiz, what's up, brother Warren Johnson? Thanks for joining the Peace in the Morning Show. Terry Hope, what's up, good brother? Shout out to Chris Thomas. God bless his family. I want you to give his prayers. His brother's having some health challenges right now. Chris Thomas, comedian, the mayor of Rap City, been on the show a number of times. Big supporter of the Peace in the Morning Show. Please send your prayers out to his family. Eric Alton, what's up, brother? Thank you for the work that you did in Annapolis, Maryland, now at Frederick High School. Also with your business management, financial management business that you're doing with sports athletes and getting young people out there to expose to not only the world of sports, but the world of business and finance so they can manage that money and their resources when they get it. Shout out to our good brother Eric Alton. Frankie Washington, A&F Commercial, residential cleaning services. Come on in, Frankie, so we can get you in the studio. Transcends Fitness, Tunnel Vision. Want to thank Tunnel Vision. Check out Tunnel Vision Apparel. Look them up online. Tunnel Vision, one of our corporate sponsors. Thank you so much, Kyle Williams, for the work that you're doing in our community. Already invested in the community. Tunnel Vision, Sports Apparel, Transcends Fitness. Get funky. Watch out now. So check it out. We're going to do the peaceful moment. We like to really send you off into your day with a peaceful moment. We had a very special opportunity to talk to a strong young man. Shout out to his mom, Monique Benz, dad, his grandmother, all of his family that supports the work that he does. And, just for his due diligence, he's a graduate of the University of Maryland. And working in Baltimore City. But what I want to share with us today on the peaceful moment is the importance of legacy building. In order for us to build a legacy in our communities, we must stand up and stop those things that are unacceptable and move those things that are acceptable into the forefront. There's no need of being afraid of taking a stand. But worse than being afraid, at least if you're afraid of taking a stand, you've considered taking a stand. You thought about taking a stand. But do you know there's so many people who just go along with the status quo because they feel like their lives are either okay or things can't get any better. And this is the best that we can do. This is not the best that we can do. The best is yet to come. Take a stand. Be strong. Link with like-minded people. If you get frustrated behind the fact that there are not a lot of people doing what you're doing, not a lot of people talking about what you're talking about, not a lot of people coaching and leading young people in schools and after-school programs, Sunday schools and churches, mosques, temples, don't get frustrated. Work with the few or the many that are doing the work to build that nation, to build that legacy. Work with those people who are promoting domestic peace. Work with those people who are promoting literacy and education in our communities. Work with those people who are taking a stand against violence. Work with those people who are taking a stand against the overindulgence of alcohol. Work with those people who are taking a stand against injustice, where we're still watching police officers get off with murder. work with those people who are working to protect police officers, who are out there surviving, doing everything they can to protect and serve people. And in order to protect those officers, we must get rid of those officers on the force and the lawyers in the state's attorney's offices who are permitting and supporting that behavior by letting them go. So work with people who are willing. Don't focus on the number. Focus on the energy of the few or the many that are willing to take a stand and build a legacy in our community. Remember on the Peace in the Morning show with Darius A. Stanton, we said the best is yet to come. Peace in the morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow's Funky Friday. Y'all ready for Funky Friday? You know what the Funky Friday. Where's my little partner? Come on, up. Yeah, Funky Friday, y'all. It's gonna be funky. So make sure you get up in here and get ready for the Peace in the Morning show on Funky Friday. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks our station engineer, station manager, engineer, Rolling Bubba Grimes. Thank you so much, brother. And for our Super Sites Dynamite, out of sight engineer, lady sister on the side who's jamming and funking and making live. Thank you for being in the studio this morning. You gave us that energy and that spark we need to go. Peace.
What you say is what you do.
We're going to perform the Funkadelic National Anthem for y'all. So can we get all the real Funkateers out there on the floor, y'all? Funkadelic National Anthem. We got any East Puerto Ricans out there? Where the AG Funkateers? Where the Rob One Funkmore?
young brothers, we seen it hard, we seen it kind of rough. But always with a smile, they sure try to hide the fact from us that life was really tough. Listen, and I can hear my mother call, I can hear my mother call, way that all she said, Mama, Mama, that's for the kids. Everything I did, don't judge me too strong. Lord knows I made no wrong. Lord knows I made no wrong. Then the devil sang, you love me, that you was born a copy fly. You like the dance you was born a copy fly. Would you like that? You like the dance you was born a copy fly.
She was well on through the gas of 6 1
Always with a smile, sure to try hard. The fact of us that she was catching hell. I can hear my mother call. I bet you can hear her call. Lady, Lord, I hear what she says. All we gonna do is for the kids. And everything I did, please don't judge me too strong. Lord knows I made no wrong. Lord knows I made no wrong.
Funky-Tails, we want to get one big soul train line out here, y'all. This is one of Parliament's biggest hits. And we dedicate this one to everybody that's coming out to help celebrate Cougar Quintet, y'all.
Yeah!
Darius, on the count of 3. 3.
Hey, we funkin' it live right here. Peace in the Morning Show, ELiteMedia.net is right here live, the 28th annual Kunta Kinte Festival with the ones, the only, the closers of the show, from the slave ship to the mothership, the close of funk horn section right here, drum section and keyboard. Hey brothers, how does it feel to be able to play right here for those who have, this is your hometown, right here in the city of Napa, where Kunta Kinte came in, and us to be able to do this right here. What does that mean to y'all?
It's always good to play for the hometown. That's where the love's at, man. You got to play for them.
You gotta play for the
That's where the love's at, man.
No doubt. You got your young trumpeter right here. Brother been playing
Trombone.
Trombone. How long you been on
You know trombone?
All my life, since I came out the womb, I feels like it, man.
I know that's right. Hey, but the horn section sound awesome, man. Y'all just, I mean, it don't, funk don't work without horn. You know, you can have a lot of other, you gotta have a bass, you gotta have a drum, but that horn put that So the horn section, how have y'all been able to blend this, you know, with the combination that y'all have, man? What's been able to make that combination?
Oh, man, we have an experienced guy on our team showed us the way of funk.
I know that's right, the way of funk. And that's what it's about, legacy, man. So, you know, so succession, we talk a lot about this on our show, right? How important it is for us to pass the mic, how important to share the stage, come out of the board seat, come out of the political seat and let some other young people in. And so now you let the young people into the horns, man.
Right, you got to pass the music down. Pass the funk down.
That's right.
That's what you got to do.
No doubt. And then one of the newest additions to the Clones of Funk, no stranger to music, comes out of a musical family, church rocking all day long. He not just gospel funking, he is funk funking. None other than Brother Rao himself.
The Wizard of Woo.
Funking it up. So what's it like, man, playing with the Clones, brother? You've been seeing them, and now you right here on stage live and just doing the thing. It's all about the funk. All about the funk. No doubt. Exactly. Well, you know, man, one of the things that is evident that people love is the energy. It's the energy, man. People love the energy, man. And then you can see how they just, all colors, all races, all ages, they just get up and just move all around. It's the energy, man. So I just want to encourage y'all to keep on funking it up. I love the fact that y'all are passing it from one generation to the next so the funk stays alive. So if y'all would just give me the peace sign for the Peace in the Morning Show. No doubt, from the slave ship to the mothership, Peace in the Morning Show. Thank you very much for joining us right here at 28th Annual.
Wait a minute.
Is this it?
It's never over till you. It's never over till the bass man sings.
From off the side of the road. Here you go. What part of town you from?
And I'm on parole. Hey, look here. Thank y'all. Thank you, Mr. Darius Stanton, my cousin.
That's right.
Damn.
That's right.
But anyway, thank y'all very much.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Peace in the morning.
Peace in the morning.
October 6th, baby. See you there.
That's right.